It is the Olympia week. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, it's Sandy with Mindset Matters More. And this week is Olympia. Now, if you've been following me, you know I'm a bodybuilder. You know I'm an amateur bodybuilder, that I'm a wannabe bodybuilder. And this week is the Olympia, which is like the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. This is what people dedicate their entire lives to in order to be able to compete at, right? And so this week, there's just a lot of really exciting things happening. And I want to talk about the fact that, people really dedicate their lives to something that, like, if I talk about some famous bodybuilders, okay, you might know people like Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, like the big boys. Like, you might know, like, really, really famous people. Now, if I told you who's Andrea Shaw, who's Laura Lee Chapados, who is Sid Gillian, who is Missy Truscott, would you know any of these names? Probably not, because this is such like a niche sport. Okay, like everybody knows who all the top basketball players are. People know who the top tennis players are. People, but like nobody knows everybody underneath it, right? You know, maybe five players from each. I mean, unless you're like a super fan of the sport, you wouldn't know more than half a dozen people, right? But all these people, they're not doing it for the recognition. They're not doing it for the notoriety to become super famous. Like, being famous is not like the thing. Like, yeah, they become famous in the sport, but they're not doing it because they want the entire world to know their name, because that's just not how it works, right? So they dedicate their lives to doing this thing that, quite frankly, is backwards. So let me tell you something about bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is the only sport where the day you compete, you are actually at the worst performance of your life. Now, what does that mean? So you go to the gym, you lift heavy, you lift a lot, you build muscle. Awesome, great. But the day that you actually compete, you are so starved. You are so depleted that you're probably lifting like a baby deer. Like, you are not lifting heavy at all. You cannot go to the gym and tell me that you are having the best workout of your life, because that's just not true. You have to diet down and get off all the body fat from your body. So technically, your performance at the gym is possibly the worst in your entire lifting career on the day of competition. So people are getting up there and they have like dieted down. They've gotten to this like extreme point where they have very little body fat and they are performing. And so their performance, their best, is that they are at their skinniest. So people think that bodybuilding really is like a lifting sport, but it's really a dieting sport. It's who can diet down the right way to show off the muscle that they built in the gym. So it's like, yeah, of course you have to go to the gym, you have to build muscle, and you have to do all this stuff, but you have to diet down. So these people, they dedicate their lives to dieting, which is why, like, you have to weigh, you have to measure, you have to eat at certain times, you have to eat in a certain way, you have to eat certain foods, avoid certain foods, you have to um, time it right. Like, you have to pre-plan, like if you're going out, you have to and most of these people, they will tell you that they miss birthdays, miss parties, miss celebrations, miss holidays, because they are so dedicated to the sport that they can't even do it. And this is not even like people who are at the top elite level. These are people on the amateur level who are dedicating like all this time, because the way that we structure like our family time is all usually surrounding food. So, you know, people who play like amateur baseball, like they might be more apt to, or even regional, like even like local, they'd still go to a fucking birthday party. They would still go to like spend time with their family. But if you're an amateur local bodybuilder, you're just not doing that. You are not giving into the temptation. So you have to give up so much. I could tell you so many times I went to birthday parties and I had my own food. I had a birthday cake flavored protein bar and I would be there like, happy birthday, and eat my protein bar. I would sit there with my massive salad, measured out, my grilled chicken, and I would be sitting there eating something very different than what everybody else did. And people would ask me, like, hey, why are you eating that? Like, why aren't you eating regular food? Like, what is this about? Like, you know, and the thing is, they don't realize that it is such a head trip, because sometimes they would be like, oh, I could never do that. Oh, like that just doesn't look appetizing. And they're just like having conversation, but like you're so hungry and you're like, man, this sucks. And like, they're not trying to be rude. They're not trying to be mean, but like you're in the thick of it and it just doesn't feel supportive at all. So you just have to imagine that these people who are on stage, who have given up their life, given up year after year after year of dieting, of having to go to the gym, of posing practice, of stretching, of doing all this stuff, that they are now getting the opportunity to get on stage to be able to show off all their hard work. And they're not doing it for the billions of people on this. Like, yeah, there's maybe a million or 2 million fans for bodybuilding, but it's not like a major sport. And yet they are so dedicated to it. So really, I was just thinking about, what is dedication? What are you dedicated to? What are you putting your time and energy into? Like, what is the purpose of your dedication? Is it because you want to have fame, fortune, and glory? Or is it because you love something so much that that you don't care what anybody says? You don't care that you have to miss out on birthdays. You don't care that you have to eat a certain way, that you don't care that you have to go to the gym and cry, that you don't care that you have to go to the practice and be in an eeny weeny teeny bikini, like that you just want something so freaking bad that you are willing to do whatever it takes. Do you have that passion and drive in your life? Now, people might think that that sort of passion is rare, but it's not. It's about finding it. It's about looking for it. It's about really letting the thing that you love blossom into something spectacular, rather than stamping it down because, what will people think? Oh, but I need to do this. Oh, but I need, like, letting yourself get distracted when really you probably do have something that you're really passionate about, and yet you let the world define what it is that you do with your time, your energy, your love, everything that's a part of you. You're letting it get pulled in several different directions. The people who have been really successful just don't allow themselves to be pulled apart. And that is so beautiful. So beautiful to watch. These people who have spent so much time and energy to get up on stage and do what they love is amazing to witness. So, are you going to watch the Olympia, or are you too busy with what you love? Okay. Love you guys. Bye.